La Vega, que lo que. Just got to La Vega. So this is walking into my Airbnb here. I'm really surprised at the size of the space. Got all kind of extra seating area, cool artwork, this little light ceiling fan combination, fine dining table, good sized kitchen. There's a laundry area back there, I just checked it. So, nice sized living room, good sized TV on the wall, and guest room number one, if I wanted to bring the team. All right. So I like saying La Vega so much that it was only time that I made a visit here to see what La Vega is all about. So with not a whole lot of information, other than it's on the outskirts of Santiago, and it's a good sized city. Some say it's a sleepy town. I decided I'd give it a shot. So this is the master suite. Also another TV on the wall. Separate bathroom. Got two closets. Every room has a ceiling fan. This one has the AC. And then got another bathroom. And another bedroom. And one thing that's a really nice touch, I think, is every door in here, bathrooms and bedrooms, has a key. I mean, hopefully, there's, no extra inside keys sitting around, but provides a little bit of sense of security. So yeah, like a lone wolf that I am sometimes, decided to just venture here for a couple days, do something different. $32 a night. I don't think you could beat it. And, I'll show y'all something from the streets as we go. Morning. From La Vega, ricotorodrpr. I think there's a lot of echo in this apartment, so bear with it. So, it's the morning of day 2. And so yesterday was day 1, first day in La Vega. Like I said, I made a blind visit, just wanted to check out La Vega for the first time. So, took the Carnival tour bus down. It's kind of uneventful ride down, first class, riding in style, Carnival tour buses. So, it's 350 pesos from Sosua to La Vega. So less than $7, if you're counting. So La Vega is just past Santiago on the Carnival tour bus line. So, and after La Vega is Santo Domingo. So don't let anybody tell you that you haven't, especially if you haven't met them in person yet. They need you to send 2,000 pesos or $50 so they can, for transport from Santo Domingo, Santiago, La Vega to Sosua to see you. Cause last I checked, $50 is a lot more than $7. And even if they go to the salon, but it's your money. I'm not counting it. Just don't have too many expectations if you do something like that. So, got in and got to the Airbnb, not too far from the bus stop. And the taxi seemed all right that brought me here. Just took a regular taxi. And immediately, because I hadn't eaten all day, because I was cutting it close catching the bus, first thing I want to do is eat. So I drop my stuff. I step out to see what's outside, because it looks like a pretty busy area I'm in. And I take a walk down the block. I'm right on the main street in La Vega. And all I see is a bunch of furniture stores and some like auto repair shops. And so I crossed the street, and I asked a couple guys I see just sitting around if there's any restaurants close. And one's like, "I'll take you." So I look at him, second time sideways, and I'm like, "Okay, vámonos." So he's like, "Okay, this is my Wawa." So his Wawa, which means truck or van, usually. Jipeta is SUV. Jipeta. But his Wawa is a little pickup truck. I wanted to, but I didn't want to film in the truck because I didn't want him to think I was like, looking down on him or I don't know. I didn't want to make him to feel any kind of way. So, but it was a piece of work, to say the least. Very old, it ran. It got us to a restaurant and a supermarket, but it was like, the door handle was like a fishing line or something. We had to hit that thumbs up if you're amused already. Go ahead, hit the thumbs up. So, but, I'm like, I can't have this guy as like my regular driver. But so went to the restaurant, just a little like chicken place, had some little chicken and tostones, just to get something on me. And then I said, let's go supermarket. And realizing, how far restaurants and things were for me, it's like, I'm gonna stock up well. So I got a lot of stuff like I would in my apartment in Sosua. Cereal and stuff for sandwiches, and of course, extra viejo. So after that, came home and wasn't really sure what I was gonna get into, as I said, before. And, it ended up being a pretty uneventful night, actually. I reached out to the taxi late, and he said he was far away, and I was like, all right, that's cool. And I don't usually, but for the hell of it, I posted a Facebook check-in from my location, and just to see, I'm like, surely I got some La Vega contacts that hit me up. And one did, and I didn't really, but the communication was kind of whack. She got real serious, like she's looking for something real, something serious, and got into too many questions. How much would I give her for mantener? Mantener is like to maintain. That's what a lot of women, when they're talking about being serious with someone, whether you a gringo or whether you're Dominican, you're an older gentleman particularly, they're usually looking for somebody to give them something in the relationship for mantener. I mean, a friend of mine has got a 6-figure pension. He dates like doctors and attorneys and things, and granted, they probably make like a third of his pension, so they don't make a ton of money, considering what they would in the States. And even they ask for like, it's one of those things, qualifying questions when it talks serious is the mantener, the maintenance fee, basically. So we'll see where day 2 goes. Stay tuned. We're downtown La Vega, but because it's Sunday, I guess everything is closed. That's that part where people say La Vega's a sleepy town. But I'm about to try to find out a little more as we go. Rio Comaro aquí. Nice little park. Bring yourself a little lady, you know, when you're visiting La Vega. Maybe I'll think of that next time. So, here we are, day 2 recap. So you saw day 1 was kind of nonchalant, uneventful. Well, hopefully you were watching some of the footage and saw we were doing a little cruising around. And shout out to the taxi guys out there. By the way, a lot of taxis in the Dominican Republic, they're very good dudes. You know, they're hustlers by nature, it's their business. But, you know, these are the guys that I've met some of their families, been to like, you know, some of the birthday parties and holiday dinners and things, you know, in different parts of this country. These are some of the most stand-up dudes. You just have to, as another friend of mine says, minimize or don't be involved in all of their dealings. For instance, if you're trying to buy a house and you have a good realtor, don't go along with the taxi that says, I'm a realtor also. Just stick to him being your taxi guy and maybe personal friend, but minimize your business dealings. So, anyways, yeah, so after Saturday arriving, being kind of, you know, finding it's a little more difficult to get around. Sunday, I was like, you know what, I got to be a little bit proactive and get on it. So the first taxi I met, he wasn't available, so he sent me a friend's number, and the friend came right over. And showed me a little bit around. Then we stopped at Burger King, and then we went to where I could have a drink. And he kept asking me, do you want to see girls where you're drinking, or you just want to go have a drink? I said, well, I'm not looking for anybody right now, but it's nice to have something to look at while I'm drinking. So, needless to say, he took me to a hookup spot. It's like a cantina, kind of typical Dominican bar, where basically most people are sharing Presidente Grandes, or they're ordering like bottles of rum for the table. Nothing fancy about it, and then later the typical band came and played, which, I didn't even know that was happening, but apparently they do every Sunday. So we get there, and, he's like, you like anything here? Because there's some contractors walking around looking to rotate some tires, fix some washing machines, change the oil. So, we're there a little bit, and all kinds, all sizes, chubbies and lovelies, skinny minis, flaquitas, a couple of goofy bodies, all types. So, some of them had seen better days. Keep in mind, I'm the only gringo or tourist in the place. So, we're there a while, and let me go back to that. I'm the only tourist there. So you guys that are new to traveling to Sosua, one thing you may not realize is, there's nothing really to be intimidated about by going to like a local area, like a non-tourist area for the most part. They're not mean mugging usually. They're not looking at you like, what are you doing here? They're not, they're not trying to create any tension. A lot of times they don't even want anything from you. They're either indifferent or they're showing you love, but they're not looking to get over on you necessarily, because they're perfectly fine doing their thing without tourists for the most part. In some of the non-touristy areas that I've been, so, they'll, for the most part, like I said, they'll be glad to have you, just because, they're humbled by your presence to some degree, if that makes sense. So don't be intimidated about going to like, Dominican only kind of establishments. Even in Sosua, you got like NYC drinks where some, but not a whole lot of gringos go in there. But, they're used to seeing gringos, but, basically, they don't, when you're in their establishment, your drink prices, your food costs the same as theirs most of the time. So, with that being said, get into the nitty gritty. So I start having a conversation, and I start having a conversation with somebody after seeing some contractor potential. And the taxi tells me already that after I mentioned her walking by once, he already mentioned me basically what the damage was gonna be. And I said, don't do that. I said, if I see someone that I want to talk to, I'll talk to them. Don't do that. So he kind of overstepped. It's they're all in cahoots, kind of. Sometimes they are. You never know. So basically, I talked to her a minute, and she told me the same thing that I guess she told him. And I said, let's revisit this. This is what I'm gonna do, this is what you're gonna do, or what I want to happen, how I want this to go, or whatever. Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah. So had to pay a little exit fee, which I'm typically against. It's against my principles, but keep in mind, I'm on vacation in a new spot this time. So I'll follow along the protocol. It's not gonna break me. So basically, I just put it out there. All in all, total noche 3,000 pesos. And my way. So, this morning, we're sitting on the couch and I have to ask her, I said, Dominicans don't pay that. Dominican, I know I got gringo taxed a little bit. I said, dime la verdad, tell me the truth. Dominicans don't pay that, do they? And she says, I have some that treat me very fairly, very well. I'm like, okay. And she basically alluded to some of those other skanks in there, they'll take whatever. I'm like, really? Let me look one up next time. Basically, so there is a scene in Dominican Republic, in La Vega, in Dominican Republic, for the single traveler looking for a little something. You'll probably be the only tourist in there, or you and your group, your travel partners, might be the only, Americans or tourists in there, but that's okay. You can relax, go in there, have a good time. Something else I learned, is, she told me she's from San Pedro, which is down past the capital, where a lot of great baseball players come from. And she basically just comes up here for work, stays at a little room on site at the cantina. And I'm thinking, so you're not La Vega? Yeah. And he's like, no. I said, I just thought because, it's not a tourist town, that just about all the people working and living, existing in La Vega are La Vegans. I don't know if that's a word, which just brings me to the point is there is a circuit here. It's like the traveling circus, kinda. Besides Sosua, you had over a course of many years, you might have some might have done Sosua, Boca Chica, La Romana, Barbaro, some other areas off the map that I'm not familiar with. So just that right there should be incentive enough to sometimes shake it up, maybe try something new without feeling like you'll be lonely and hopeless, if you choose the wrong place. Because there really is no wrong place as I see it. So anyways, I'm actually leaving today. So there's not going to be a day 3. And it's just because it's raining kinda, and it's just not a lot more I can do here, especially being a Monday. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoy.